bored you to tears. But I am going to be streaming some Konami games. Mostly because
So
I do love the classics. I actually wrote a blog on That Guy with the Glasses back when they still did blogs for Ordinary Joes. I wrote a blog called Why I Hate to Love Konami.
well, they were kind of crap even before all that. Well, at least before the big burnout with Kojima, they were pretty crappy as far as business decisions were.
Um, to a degree, I would probably agree. I mean, after like somewhere in the 2000s, I would agree with that. But a lot of the things before that, I had a soft spot for everything Konami did. I mean, I love Gradius. I love their Ninja Turtles games. I love Castlevania. I love Contra. And I've come to love a lot of other games that they've put out. Yayar Kung Fu, one of the first games I ever played in my life. I had no idea it was a Konami game. I loved playing that on the Commodore 64.
Well, like I said, clearly the old, like it's like what I say about Square Enix. The old one that people love, it does not exist anymore. That died a long time ago.
Yeah. It's that fading into acceptance kind of. Yeah.
I'm just playing Soma. I'm talking to a robot who says he's human. Give me a minute.
Oh, really?
Someone.
It's from the game from the guys who did Amnesia. This is their follow up to that.
Someone believes that they're human.
Well, the whole point of the game is the idea of what happens when a human subconsciousness tries to become a robot. That's what happens in this game. What I'm getting at so far is that all the crew members decided to put their subconsciousness into machines, and it's backfired horribly.
But yeah, the Tintan, man. I am streaming lots and lots of Konami games from the NES, Super NES, and Genesis. I'll probably do some Game Boy ones as well.
Yay! Oh, random question for you, Reese.
Fire away.
So, going through my closet, I found that I had a working Genesis Nomad.
Oh,
What?
What? Go ahead.
Well, no, you can go ahead.
I was gonna comment on the fact that the handheld Genesis.
Yes. I have a handful of games, and I was just gonna ask your opinion on what would be some good games to add. So I have Sonic 2, Earthworm Jim, Animaniacs, some random Pac-Man game, and Jungle Book.
Okay, Pac-Man, I don't know. I never played the Animaniacs game.
Wait,
The other ones are pretty cool.
Which Pac-Man game?
Probably the one by Tengen.
Wait, was that the... Okay, for some reason I thought you had the one that Namco did, the one where he has a wife and kid, if anyone remembers that.
Pac-Land, perhaps?
No, it was this weird, like... I don't know what they were thinking, but it was, like, supposed to be, like... Fuck, what was it? I can't remember.
Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures.
Thank you, yeah, I saw a guy, like, named Sherma played it, and I was just blown away by this.
That's actually the exact one that I have.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's got Pac-Man, like, the cover is one of those holographic covers where, like, you tilt it and it changes, and, it's him with a glider.
Yep, that's the one.
So, I'm just wondering, Reese, what games should I get that would be easily obtainable, like through Amazon or eBay, that I should add to this collection?
I would highly recommend Fatal Labyrinth if you like if you like roguelikes. It's like a graphical roguelike for the Genesis.
I have the PS3 version of that. It came with a like the Sega. It was like a Sega Genesis.
The Sonic Genesis collection.
Yes, and it's on there. I loved it. I did not know they made it for the. I should have known that it came with Genesis. So okay.
Yeah, dude, you have the PS3 version. You have that collection, right?
Yes.
I have that one too. That one's actually really worth a buy. It's got Streets of Rage 3, which is really fucking hard to get.
I need to play that again. I played it for maybe like a couple hours. Most of the time I spent was playing Fatal Labyrinth, actually. So, okay, so Fatal Labyrinth. I can dig it.
Trying to think of other games right off the bat. Okay, other than the first-party titles like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Revenge of Shinobi, Shinobi 3.
I remember the PS2 version of Shinobi. That was a fun game.
The 3D remake, I never played it.
I talked about it. One of the things I'll always remember from that game was you die if you touch water, but you can run across lava.
Not gonna lie, that is kind of weird.
That is...
Go ahead.
That just stuck with me for years. I'm like, what the fuck?
The entire Strike series, if you can get that, that would be kind of that would. I have a feeling you might like that as well. If you like complete and utter destruction by a gunship. The Strike
like
the Strike series, starting with Desert Strike, Return to the Gulf, Jungle Strike, and then Urban Strike. I streamed all three of them a while back, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get the highlight for Desert and Jungle, so I'm going to end up streaming that again eventually. Other games. I would recommend the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie game.
I'm guessing shit movie, really good game though.
I don't know. I enjoyed the movie.
I did not like it. Well, then again, I didn't grow up with Power Rangers, and I saw this like 2 years ago.
But I do highly recommend the game for this reason. It's the kind of Power Rangers game that one would expect one to be. The Super NES games were simply side scrollers, while the Genesis game was a brawler. You know you know what brawlers are, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a 2D beat 'em up, which I loved it.
My favorite beat 'em up is still Streets of Rage. Have you ever played a Streets of Rage game, Theta?
No.
Get the second one. That's really the only one you should play.
As a kid, I actually had a Power Rangers Tiger handheld watch. So it was a watch that obviously had the time, but it was also a fighting game.
I need to bring this up. I'm playing the game I'm playing. I found a note that says, Theta, turn around.
What?
Yeah, apparently there's a character in this game named Theta. I've been finding several notes with this name.
I'm scared.
If a half-human, half-robot abomination breaks into your house, let me know.
I think I'll be too busy trying to kill it if it's trying to kill me.
That was really fucked up when he said. I just found that really messed up when that robot says. The guy asked, "Are you human?" And the robot's, "Oh, never mind. I would love to talk with the giant robots chasing me now." Shit. Oh my. Oh well, but yeah, about that. I'm sorry. I'm playing a horror game. My mind's racing. I'll shut up now.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I think whether or not like the Power Rangers game depends on if you really you're hardcore into the original series, and the movie as well, I suppose.
The Sentai is really good, where they actually cut all of the fighting scenes from.
Oh, I know, Sentai's great, you know, and, you know, some of this other stuff, yeah.
Well, okay, so if you watch Power Rangers, then watch the Sentai, then you really see how much they butchered the fighting in Power Rangers, because in the original TV shows, they don't do editing like we do. They don't do like all these cutting away.
They don't do. Yeah, I think I've seen those. Yeah, they're really crazy the way they're edited.
The choreography is amazing.
Oh, those Japanese fighting programs were awesome. They knew how to fucking direct a fight scene.
Well, I know they were cut, especially you could really tell in the original series, because the original Sentai only went for like 50 episodes, and I know the first season of Power Rangers lasted way past that, to where they actually had to shoot new footage just for the series.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I want to see the original Sentai footage where they get like all of the Red Rangers together.
Oh, Forever Red, yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Was that an actual Sentai thing, or was that just mainly American produced?
It was American produced.
Oh, damn. Though I do have to say Deca Ranger, which is what they based SPD on, one of the best intros ever.
It's a good introduction series if you want to get started on Sentai.
What the fuck is that? Is that a fat dude with a Terminator costume? What am I running from?
The first Sentai series I watched, believe it or not, was Akiba Ranger.
You watch Akiba Ranger?
Yes, which is a parody of Sentai.
And they even mentioned about Power Rangers.
If you can find it, there's a series of sketches called Five Rangers, the end of century heroes, I think. It mostly revolves around this woman that's about to get raped by a skeleton monster kind of guy, and all of a sudden the Power Rangers show up, and they can't get their shit together when it comes to their costume choices.
So it's kind of like the first TNG movie.
The first episode just consists of all the Rangers, except for one of them, all wearing red.
So they're all the leader?
I don't think that part was ever brought up. I just know that the villain just spent the entire sketch berating them about how they need to work on their costumes a little better. I know it wouldn't fly all that well here in the States because that's Japanese comedy is a lot different than the United States comedy.
Of course. And here's the funny part. I have seen most of what Sentai's offer up to like a couple years ago. Up until I saw what they had for the next series, which is about the series that was about trains, and then I saw the picture of the robot that had a problem, is that he had attacked and involved an erection.
Dear God, why?
I looked at it, I just went and gasped. I went, what? I was just like, is this really a thing? Is this how he fights? Is that he has to shoot his dick out?
So, Reese, on Amazon,
Brr.
guess how much Fatal Labyrinth goes for the Sega Genesis?
I'm gonna guess maybe around $5 or less.
Brand new.
Brand new, triple digits.
$109.99.
I figured it was triple. Unopened games usually go for shit tons of money. It's like the comic book industry nowadays.
It is. Also, I think I may have found a new game to play.
Ooh, new game.
Ooh.
The game is called Drunk, Stoned, or Stupid.
I know where this is going.
Do you
have
now?
You pick a card, and then you have the person next to you read the question aloud, and they have to pick who they say is one of the people to play. It's basically a statement, and they read it aloud, and they say this is the person that most likely matches this statement. And there's a video that shows how it's played, and let me just say, one of them is just, what? Oh, someone totally read that wrong. Because that was like, whoa! I'm just going to say it to you because, trust me, this might be a game I might actually think of picking up.
Some other Genesis games I would recommend. Ghostbusters. I would recommend Gauntlet 4, which is it's a combination of the first arcade game, plus they have a quest mode which has a completely new set of levels, and a kind of an RPG element to it as well. It's also 4 players. What else could I recommend? Ghouls and Ghosts. Ghouls and Ghosts, not Street Fighter, Strider. Let's see, what else could I recommend?
Thunder Force?
I never played Thunder Force. I need to get around to that sometime.
Primal Rage?
I like that one.
Primal Rage, the game where you can piss on people.
It was juvenile as fuck, but it was fun.
And you had a fart attack.
Me and my friends had good fun with that. He had the 32X version too, so it was slightly better.
Sonic and Knuckles, $8.
What else?
I think they've ever released that game in like the complete version, the packaged version. I don't think they've ever re-released that. I know they didn't for that the re-release that they had for the PS3.
Hey Neon.
What?
Streets of Rage 2. Guess
How
how
much?
much? $13.
That's worth every goddamn penny.
Now I don't know if they fixed the game from the NES release, but if you want a prettier version of Battletoads, you can get it for Genesis. Yes, the original Battletoads in 16-bit. There's also there's also Snake Rattle and Roll in the Championship Pro-Am.
My friend loves that game.
How was Golden Axe for Sega Genesis?
Golden Axe is fun.
I guess for $10.
It's also a sideways brawler, which if you like sideways brawlers, Golden Axe is fun. Plus, it's first party. What else?
Apparently, there's 2 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers games for the Genesis.
Yeah, the first one was a straight up one-on-one fighting game. But the second one, the one based on the movie, that was a brawler. Which they covered the events of the movie, but they also covered the events of when they changed over the 3 Rangers to the other 3 Rangers. Like they changed over Jason, Zack, and Trini to Aisha, Rocky, and Adam. They covered that story arc in its entirety.
Ooh, here's one I need to get: Shaq Fu.
You know what? I have a soft piece of my heart for that game. And you know what? It's not the worst fighting game I've ever played. I can name 5 that are fuckload worse.
Two other games I can recommend: Batman.
Which one I saw Batman Returns.
There's one based on the Jack Nicholson movie.
Yeah, that's the NES game, I think.
Another I can recommend: Guy-RS, which is a shooter. Now, if you're into Japanime and chicks with swords, there's also the Valis series. Valis. They released the first one and the third one for the Genesis, but the second one was a CD game only.
I thought most of the Valve games were on the TurboGrafx 16.
It was the primary platform for the series, but they did port them to the Genesis.
Ooh, Afterburner 2. $4.
Nice.
Damn, these are really good prices. I was expecting like $20 a pop for these games.
Well, you'd only get to that territory when you have the rare and uncommon games.
But still, I mean, this system is a legacy system, and I figured over time that they would just get harder and harder to get, but no.
One
Okay,
more game to
Michael-
recommend.
Go ahead.
I hold a soft spot for this game. Quackshot. Quackshot was it was a Donald Duck game, but it was set in the DuckTales universe.
Here's a game that they're asking way too much damn money for. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
I like that game. Fuck you.
$35.
Okay, that's way too much.
It was a fun game.
That game had the awesome soundtrack, though.
It's also
Oh, God.
kind of easy, but it's still a fun experience.
You know what? Having played the game, what is it? I bet a bunch of weird games with it. I know Journey had a game on the Atari 2600. The band Journey, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, you know about that too.
Yeah, the objective is that you're trying to get away from your groupies and other shit to get to your limo to get the hell out of town or something. It takes place after a concert. There was also there was also an arcade game of the same thing, to where it actually has code to where it runs off of a cassette tape. The Journey soundtrack. I think it's.
By the way, Theta, this is the note I was talking about.
I'm gonna guess maybe it was a custom-made compilation just for the game. Unfortunately, I've never played the game, so I don't really know. I only know from like third-hand accounts from Jason and John's arcade.
Yeah, but I like Moonwalker. There's no way in hell you should pay $30 for that, though.
Would you ever pay $150 for the arcade game?
I emulated it. I'm a rebel.
You rebel, you.
Yeah. Fuck the establishmentarianism.
Phantasy Star 2.
Phantasy Star 2 it's an alright game, but it's slow and it's kind of hard to level up. It's got an okay storyline though. Although I would recommend the fourth one more because of how slicker the control is, if that makes any sense.
Slicker control in a JRPG, that is something I've never heard of.
Echo Tides of Time. Guess how much it goes for?
Come on, I'm gonna guess 4.
Do you have a guess, Reese?
Are we talking used or new?
Used.
Can I make an estimate?
Sure.
I'm gonna guess between 20 and 30.
20 and 30.
Dollars.
1 penny.
Not
Shit.
bad.
To be fair, I don't even think it's worth the penny.
You know what? Send me the link to that. I might end up buying that. Actually, wait a minute. Check out the listing for that and see how much they're charging for shipping. Because sometimes they charge like $10 or even $15 for shipping, just to fool the customers into buying it, into spending like close to $20 for a 1 penny game.
$4 used, very good condition. They have 5-star. They have 96% positive ratings over the last 12 months, and they've had over 300,000 total ratings. I'm thinking they're like, let's just get this shit out of here. Damn, Batman the video game. The Sunsoft one is kind of pricey.
For a period, it was rare because they only printed like so many different, so many copies. There was talk of it getting taken off the shelves because of a licensing issue.
$30 used. And the cartridge only, not even the box. Huh, but Afterburner 2 goes for $4. Did they ever make Sega Chaos for the Genesis, or was that only for the Game Gear?
Sega Chaos? What do you mean?
Sega Chaos. Not Sega Sonic Chaos.
I couldn't tell you.
Because I remember as a kid, I had a friend that whenever I would see him like every few months, and he had a Game Gear, I had a Game Boy, and so whenever he showed up, we would switch systems. So he got to play Mega Man 2, Pokemon, and I got to sit there, and the only game I ever played on his was Sega Chaos. Or Sonic Chaos.
I know that game. That was one of the original games I had when I got the Game Gear many years ago. Play Sonic and Tails, not too bad, except for the horrible screen crunch.
Yeah.
The pitfalls of portable games.
Why do I keep ducking when he jumps? I don't know why I keep falling for that. Because when he does that jumping kick, it's going to hit me regardless.
Shining Force 2 goes for $38. Star Wars Arcade for the Sega 32X. $2.
Not bad.
That's on Amazon? I might have to get that considering I do have a working 32X.
Really?
Yep.
Let me get you the link.
I got it a couple months ago as part of my mass system buying phase, which I kind of still am at.
There you are. And Reese, let me know if you don't buy that cartridge that's a penny, because that for Echo, I might buy that. I don't know. I'm looking through all the other games, so if you want to buy it, buy it.
Reese, you know I eat green berets for breakfast, right? Fuck, you don't get that reference? Come on.
No.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
That and Billy Madison are like the only funny movies Adam Sandler ever made.
No, Waterboy.
I never saw that.
Oh, I love Waterboy. That is my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Airheads.
But that wasn't Adam Sandler? I don't think it was.
It had him in it.
I think I know what that is. Is that about the band or something?
That's about the band who takes a radio station hostage. It was Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler. With Harry Shearer, with Harry Shearer as the DJ and Michael Richards as the manager of the station.
Because of course Michael Richards has to be the jackass manager.
Ooh, Doom 32X for less than $2.
Avoid the console versions of Doom; they're all butchered, mostly of them.
Save for the Super NES game. It's pretty cool.
Oh my god, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. Oh, the nostalgia.
That game, you know what? That game taught a lot of children pizza was good for your health.
Yes.
I hold that game in high regard for that, even though it was developed by sadomasochists.
It really was.
The people who work at Ultra Games hate children, I'm convinced.
The part that I gave up is when you have to fight that the Mecha Turtle.
Oh yeah, the big final, final fight.
No, not final fight.
I don't remember. I didn't get past that part.
That was the third stage. First stage, you have the overworld, and you have to beat Bebop and Rocksteady. Second stage is the dam stage, where you have to go through the dam and disable all the bombs. And then you have the third stage, where you actually get the turtle van. And you have to go find missiles to destroy barricades in order to go and
rescue Splinter.
To progress through the story. And you have to fight a Mecha Turtle. Which I never... Because by the time I got to him, because you had to go through so much bullshit to finally get to him, by that time my health was already like too shit.
And from there, you're only halfway through the game.
Yep.
Fucking hate that game, and I didn't even like Ninja Turtles growing up, but...
You shut your whore mouth.
What? I was the pretentious kid who liked art films, mind you. Well, then again, I only liked them because they had tits in them. Well, only like 90%, like about 10% of them had tits in them.
So in other words, you liked heavy metal.
Yeah, dude, I was the motherfucker who stayed up till almost like 2 o'clock in the morning watching art films on like HBO and PBS, hoping I'd get tit. Some days that wouldn't come, and those were sad days.
Admitted you watched Cinemax Friday After Dark, didn't you?
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I did.
And you called me out on something I don't know what I said earlier.
Well, it's different, because porn is clearly better than hentai in every sense of the word.
I'm sorry,
that's
but
just a stone cold fact.
No. I'm gonna call you out on this for one reason. Because the dojo I was talking about would have been similar to what you would have for one of your art films. I'm sorry,
but
but
you think I like art films? You fucking kidding me? You peeps? I like a couple of them, that's about it.
You said you spent all time just trying to run for tits.
For tits, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm calling you out on that. I'm calling you out on calling you out for me yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm calling you out on it.
Well, you know what? To me, porn is porn. I don't look at it as art. That's the difference. You told us. as you said, oh, this hentai has a good story. As soon as you say this hentai, whatever after that, it's over. Enforcer, you and I agree. I'm the weirdo who I know one of them had a pig in it and involved a lot of horrible things.
The pig fucking movie.
Oh, they had that. I didn't watch it. After he fucks the pig, I turned it off. I was like, oh god, no.
You weirdo.
That would be... What?
It was the lost sequel to Deliverance.
No, it was the... But Ned Beatty's the pig now? Now that I think about it. God, this game is so fucking weird. 1 second I'm running from a murderous robot, now I'm underwater. I'm breathing underwater. Also, I noticed, Reese, first off, having played Metal Gear Solid 5, you're doing this all wrong. You're assaulting the base in broad daylight. You're using only a knife. Is everyone still even here?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Have I gone full
Everybody's
mad?
dead, Dave.
No!
Dragon Warrior 7 for the PlayStation. Greatest hits version. Guess how? Yeah, the greatest hits, not the initial release of it. Guess how much a used copy goes for?
Tell me.
No one wants to do over under.
Let's go $5.
Is it complete? All the stuff?
I'm just looking at just the loading page, so just because I'm just scrolling through all the Sega Genesis games, and for some reason they have that under Sega Genesis. Go figure.
I'll say $70.
$42
Fuck me.
used. I don't
Literally.
see.
You'd have
I
to
don't-
fuck me to pay for that.
I don't understand how they can justify it.
Well, it was probably kind of rare at the time because that came out very late in the original PlayStation's life cycle. Now, if they actually had released the game when it was supposed to around, I believe, 1999, then it'd probably be in better value.
Huh, they released the Star Trek Deep Space Nine game for the Sega Genesis.
They did. It was a side scroller.
Everything, the side scroller is what the third person shooter is now. It was the thing that they just slap. It was the genre you used just to slap something together.
No,
It's
not
going-
really. Not really. The next generation game was an overhead.
It's going for less than $1.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember playing Deep Space Nine briefly on Sega Channel.
Double Dragon.
There is an unlicensed Double Dragon game for the Sega Genesis. And for a
Yes,
good
if I
long
remember
while, I had a copy.
This is by Accolade.
It was.
And if I remember correctly, it's horribly optimized.
I don't know about the horribly optimized part.
Wow, when I got underwater, the performance just chugged. Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over
What?
to the. Sorry.
I was gonna ask Neon, what are you like? What is your computer settings at? Because like I can't
No,
imagine.
I've been able to. No, it's the fucking game itself. I've been able to run this at a good frame rate on the highest settings. Now, when I go underwater, the whole game is starting to fucking act up weird.
Which game?
It's a game called Soma.
Ah, I thought you were talking about Metal Gear.
Oh, it's a horror game right now.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over from the Famicom disc version to the American version.
Because America, motherfucker.
Well, not only that, but because I can also use save states.
That America. Go back. Yeah, screw the Japanese with their rice and their weird fetishes. And whatever the hell the Japanese are into. I'm acting more crazy than usual tonight. I'm completely aware of this.
There are a lot of really cheap games for the Sega Genesis on Amazon. Damn.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I really am, because I figured, okay, it's an old system. Games in general, even the common games, will probably be hard to come by. So I might have to pay like 20 to like 10, 20 bucks per game. No, there are several games that are going for less than $2. What the hell kind of name for a game is this? It's Zero Kamikaze Squirrel.
Zero
That
the
sounds-
Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Yes.
That sounds very colorful.
It's going for $150.
Fuck me.
Well, if
Not
you
even in
insist.
the case.
If you insist, Neon. Zip.
Oh man, Mortal Kombat 2 goes for $20.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat's a fun one. I have a lot of good memories. It was the only real fighting game I could get into.
Same here when I was when I was a kid. I used to play Mortal Kombat 2 on the SNES. So
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
you
my
had the
first
nerf
fighting game.
version without the blood, yeah.
Yep. That was my introduction to fighting games. I still do get feel a need to play fighting games.
I'm not that good at them mostly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
That's my biggest thing.
I bought the reboot that they did back in 2011, if only because I just remember, hey, I haven't played this in a long time. Might as well, why not? You know?
Wait, what?
Remember that one from 2011 they had? Brought the original creator back and everything? Come on, you don't remember that?
Well, no, I'm looking at this. Okay, so I did know that there was a Dune, RTS for the computer.
I'm wondering, was that actually based off the novel or the David Lynch film?
I don't know, but there is a Sega Genesis game, Dune: Battle of Icarus, and I don't know if that's the RTS. I can't imagine playing an RTS on a Sega Genesis.
To be fair, there was a StarCraft port for the 64.
Yeah, there was a Warcraft 2 port for PlayStation.
We learned the hard way that you can't play an RTS with a controller.
It doesn't work well.
No, because you need all those keys.
I don't know, man. I mean, STL works pretty good on a controller.
You could just go so much faster with the mouse, like, because you're gonna have to move around the map very quickly, and just having to scroll with the D-pad is just painful for RTS.
Yeah, Battle for Icarus is the port of Doom 2.
That's another genre I've never been able to really get into, RTS games.
Oh, I love them. I used to play the shit out of StarCraft.
I remember playing Total Annihilation once with an N64 pad.
Though my absolute favorite RTS, Star Trek Armada.
Oh,
One
I
I
love
remember getting-
Armada.
I
One
cannot get it to work on any of my newer computers. I still have the CD.
Same
it
here.
will not. It will not run. It will. I don't care how many different types of compatibility modes I run. It will not run.
The one I remember getting into was what was it? Supreme Commander. Anyone remembers that one?
It's kind of like a pseudo sequel to Total Annihilation, but
It's
not
the
really.
follow-up to- yeah,
But
it was
not
the
really.
follow-up. Well, it's from the same creator. The
From Cave
Okay, that's
Dog.
hilarious.
But yeah, the maps in that game were huge. I swear, like one match takes like almost 2 hours. It's crazy.
The fart I cut in the shower a few minutes ago can only be described as violent.
Who the hell is this guy?
I don't find it funny. Fart violence is a real problem.
It is. No, it is. Like, don't laugh, Ninja. It's a real fucking problem. I lived with it. All right. I couldn't eat cheese for a week.
I call bullshit.
Motherfucker, you weren't there. You don't get to say shit to me.
I still have PTSD from it.
I had full-on PTSD. I was in the trenches, man. I saw my friends leave me. I was in the shit, both literally and metaphorically.
I've seen some stuff, man, and some things.
Wow,
Why do they keep showing me PlayStation games when I'm searching for Sega Genesis games?
I don't know, but bunnies. I give you bunnies. I give you bunnies. I give you link to bunnies.
Why do you
Who's
give us,
this guy? Who's this guy in the photo? I'm trying to recognize who that is.
Why are you trying to give us bunnies?
Can't you tell who that is based off what's around him?
That's Hugh Hefner, isn't it?
Yep.
A
Fuck,
young
no.
you have a young you have
1950.
No wonder all the ladies wanted to fuck him. No.
Now, how did he get his money just straight from porn, or did he have money before he started Playboy?
The question has silenced the chat.
Yes.
We don't know how to respond.
It's okay. Did Hugh Hefner make money before he did Playboy? If
From
so,
I'll say from the looks of it, no.
Guys, I accidentally killed someone on life support. Am I going to jail?
Yes.
Oh god.
The only reason why it would be good is if they were told that they were going to be unplugged.
She was being hooked up to machines and she said, she was basically repeating, kill me, and then I'm like, but I didn't know that was gonna do that. I just needed to use the power box, that was it.
Subtie.
What up, Tai Tai?
You want to see some bunnies?
Please, they're very good bunnies.
So, you trust us. You want to see these bunnies.
Furry tails, everything. Oh, just makes me want to grab my penis and wrap it around my own head. That's how good it is.
Okay.
I'm having a really weird day, okay? Just accept the madness, okay? Spent 3 hours trying to write a script. I am going through what most famous writers go through, pure insanity.
Do you like the bunnies? guy.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't me. Sorry.
He was mesmerized by the bunnies.
Yeah, he was.
Risk for the Sega Genesis, 41 cents.
I played that.
I had Monopoly for the Sega Genesis.
I remember playing Monopoly on the NES. No crazy sound effects or anything. You just had it happen.
I'm finding a lot of Sega Genesis games that are under $2. So I'm like, you know what? I got a working Genesis Nomad. Why not? I only have 5 games for it. Why not buy more games for it?
I'm jealous you have a Nomad.
Yeah, actually, it was a family member said, and she's like, yeah, it doesn't really work that well. The AC adapter is really loose. Like, you just touch it and it will power off. But she never tried the battery pack. Battery pack works perfectly fine.
What is this? No, are they really gonna bring him back to do this?
What do you speak of?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Good Burger. Home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
They're bringing back the burger.
Why?
No, apparently they're doing a skit for Fallon tonight.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I fucking love that. I like Good Burger. Fuck it. Fuck it. I like that movie. Because it's a one joke movie, but it's fucking funny.
Dude, Keenan and Kel are back.
That Abe Lagoda is hilarious.
What?
He's so confused.
What has Kel been doing?
A lot of shows for Nick and doing a lot of just doing work. He's mostly been behind the camera.
Oh, okay.
Ah. Some people actually crazily theorized at one point maybe it was the rapper Waka Flame or something.
Oh yeah, Waka Flocka. He's a fun fucker to read about. Because he's
Yeah.
insane. He's
Some
fucking
people, because he
crazy.
looks so much like Kel, some people actually thought he was.
But yeah, fuck you, you're right now looking at Kel now, he just Waka Flocka. By the way, Waka Flocka tried to run for president. I
No.
fucking love him, he's insane. He's fucking insane.
He actually, okay, I'm looking at what he does. He's done a lot of voice work and a lot of other stuff, but he decided, I'll just have some fun.
Still, I'm happy they're bringing this back, because I liked Good Burger. I thought it was funny.
Here's the funny part. It says NBC. Isn't that Viacom?
No, it's CBS.
Yeah, CBS is owned by Viacom. Did you not know that?
I
I
knew
did
it.
not
I'm
know
just...
who owns CBS.
Well, that's the funny part. They're bringing this back, but it's being on NBC.
So it's a concept, not an actual straight out stealing a show.
They're probably going to do a satire on it.
More than likely.
But I wonder what idea made them go, we need to do something with this.
It says here on the pic, 90s nostalgia overload.
More to make it overload. That's just one concept. You need to add more in there to overload it.
I think you lost the concept. I found out something today. Apparently, the guy at my game store prices his games at a place that makes no damn sense. Because, here's an example. The guy had Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 2 is... I can't remember if it was 50 or 60 bucks, but Final Fantasy 3 was 70 bucks. I looked online on Price Checker or whatever that site is for what it is on eBay and Amazon. The guy is charging twice for the game. And that's
Yes.
loose.
He's insane. Wait,
Greedy is more like it.
this is 2 and 3.
No,
you,
this is-
do you
This
mean
is a
an
salvage.
American?
He's trying to sell it at collector prices.
Okay, but here's the question: are these the American labeling of 2 and 3 or Japanese?
American, of course. You know how much a Japanese Final
Yeah,
Fantasy 2 and 3 would cost? Not that much.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm just asking. Just wanted to check.
Alright, so I put 5 Sega Genesis games in my shopping cart. Total for just the games, $5.09. Shipping, $20. I pay 4 times the amount for shipping than I do for the actual games themselves.
What the fuck would... Oh well.
Because they're all shipping from different different areas, different companies.
Fair enough.
Guys, I gotta wonder something.
Go for it.
I played Dropsy last week. I'm playing Grim Fandango. I'm currently playing through Grim Fandango. And there's a game called Arm Cog I want to play. So within less than a month, I've played 3 point-and-click games. I think I have my head hurts from that. Oh god.
Oh, also, I do have to say, rest in peace, Yogi Berra.
Wait, what?
Motherfucking rest in peace to that brilliant man.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I watched
What?
I watched football. I watched the baseball game with the Yankees and the Jays yesterday. So
Wait, what
if
happened?
anything, that Yogi Berra, the football, the baseball player, he died recently.
Oh,
It's like
Yeah, you wouldn't know much.
he coined one of my favorite terms of the sport. It ain't over till it's over. Yep. No, that's the
I think he became one of the people who recognized for his wacky ways of saying things.
I heard it on the radio this morning, heading to work, and they actually they talked about some of his yogiisms, like when there's a fork in the road, you take it. They pay you in cash, which is just as good as money.
Yep.
They even played a George W. Bush clip where he was poking fun, saying, "Yeah, some people are even saying that they think Mr. Bear writes my speeches for me."
This is another one on the list of people who don't be remembered for wacky ways they say things.
I'm still always gonna remember the shoe incident. That will always stay with me.
Dude, he dodged that, man.
He dodged that shit like Neo from the Matrix. He dodged both of them, by the way. Most people forget the guy threw both his shoes.
The clip usually only shows him throwing one.
I knew he threw because he threw both of them, and all I know is that now he's probably dead somewhere in a ditch without shoes. Dude,
Oh, that's sad.
that's the Middle East. They will kill that man.
Give him some shoes.
Just give him some shoes before you send him off to the desert and chop his head off.
You need to chop his head off instantly.
So that's messy, man. Like, simple gunshot to the head too much.
I think they have more
Right.
choice than guns in the military. Beheading, I think, makes a stronger statement than a gunshot to the head.
Well, I am glad that no one got hurt in that situation.
Boot to the head.
Still, I thought that was funny when I first saw that. I've heard people throw tomatoes, never seen someone throw a shoe.
Apparently, that's an insult in that country.
No shit. No, throwing your shoe is an insult in any country, let's be honest.
No. This one is actually a little bit more.
Well, I guess in culture says throw you like, because when you throw your shoe, you're like, well, you're pissed. You throw a shoe there, it's clearly a sign for something bad.
So Reese, maybe you should find a baseball game to play tonight.
Oh,
to-
apparently. Here's what it means. Shoes are considered unclean in the Arab world.
The air world?
No, the Arab.
Okay, I thought you said air worlds. I'm like, when the fuck did the Middle East become Avatar?
That's
Pardon,
Arab.
that's the Air Nation. Thank you very much. I haven't even watched Avatar.
I haven't watched.
Damn you! You stole my joke.
Hey, I enjoy being a smart, doing the whole doing the whole really annoying hipster voice. I liked Hunger Games back when it was called a Battle Royale. Thank you very much.
Did you know that you can get your own version of Hunger Games in France? It's called Battle Royale with cheese.
You sound more like a rich person, Neon, than a hipster.
Well, that's my thing. I'm a pretentious fuckhead who feels he needs to like things that he doesn't like to feel smarter.
So how's your latest coffee at Starbucks?
Are you asking my hipster character? Or are you asking me?
The hipster character.
Well, Starbucks is... Well, it's shit, let's be honest. There really is no switchy comeback, it's just shit. I drink Cafe Lupois, which is cat shit. Literally, it's cat shit, so does coffee.
Now, do you include litter in that mix?
It depends. I know the African companies who make it are pretty shitty with that. The
So,
Middle East
you
boys, on the
actually-
other hand.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
How can you brag on Starbucks when you're literally drinking shit?
You clearly have never been raised with a silver spoon in your mouth, child. I'm gonna stop doing that before someone kills me.
You should do that with Lord when Lord gets around and see what happens. Why?
You don't want to get banned? I actually like it here.
He has a similar voice to Duckington,
Oh crap!
so I thought that would be funny.
I'm gonna stay with Reese, because I like you. I can talk about stupid shit like this and not get kicked.
Reese's not here.
Reese! Reese!
Yeah, she's totally right. I'm not here.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Yeah, the fact that you had to yell for me pretty much means that you're not really watching this, are you?
Watching this, I mean, it's the same. Well, let's be honest. It's the same thing we've seen before, only snow.
It reminds me of Ninja Gaiden.
It's true. You know, has these soldiers ever heard of, I don't know, guns? Did that ever cross their minds?
The yellow ones do.
So I love that these guys are all wearing what appear to be bathrobes, or at least like some sort of contemporary Japanese robe. That's what I think they're wearing.
What's going on?
You're not watching the stream, aren't you?
No, I didn't know anyone was streaming.
Is this a one-hit kill game? I never actually played this.
Yeah, it's one touch you did.
You're safe stating I don't blame you in a game like this.
Yeah, that's actually why I switched from the Japanese Famicom disc version to the American version, just so I could use save states. Because, oh god, I kept dying and losing all my continues in stage 3. By the way, this is the last level.
Oh, how many levels is this game?
4.
Okay, yeah, this was back in the days when the games were that long.
There was only 4 levels, but gosh darn if they didn't make the levels hard as fuck.
Well, that was the old days of game design. Let's just make the game hard as fuck so we can patch this thing out.
Well,
That we have to go rent it again.
Yeah. Why do you think, like, Battletoads is kind of a stroke of genius when it comes to that whole philosophy?
Well, due to Nintendo doing it the most, the trope has become known as Nintendo Hard.
here's the deal. The developers actually make the games for themselves, and they just happen to put out the final product. What they do is that they play test the games. They decide this is too easy, and then they tighten it up a little bit and make it more difficult even for them.
I think back to that George Carlin saying in that one stand-up routine, "Fuck the children." That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, children weren't exactly the main focus. It's kind of like Looney Tunes in a way. They weren't exactly made for children, because if you remember back in the Atari days, there's a reason why it seemed like adults were the primary target for the video games in that Wizard movie.
So it became a full circle.
Wizard movie is probably one of the worst things I have ever seen in my life. It is literally product placement, the movie.
No, it's Nintendo product placement, the movie.
But it makes sense, and I'll tell you why. So I finish eating this Reese cup. Don't worry, it's a mini. Back in the 70s and early 80s, adults were the ones playing the video games. I mean, kids were playing them too, but the primary audience was mostly adults. Because if you watch my gaming nostalgia videos, which will eventually be put on YouTube, you'll notice a lot of Atari 2600 ads where it just seems like the adults are the target audience. That's where I would actually compare the Atari days to Looney Tunes, because the cartoons were not made for children. I mean, they're marketed to kids now because the culture has changed and we now accept a lot more. We accept more of what they would consider vulgar. It's kid stuff now. Vulgar is I don't know, punching someone in the cunt or something. It's vulgar.
Well,
oh god,
we become tolerant of some things and intolerant of other things from it.
you guys are. I'm so happy you guys are here because there was just a jump scare that I almost jumped out of my seat, and you guys softened the blow. Thank you.
Oh,
I
no
hate
problem.
jump scares.
No, it wasn't really a jump scare.
I'm glad I helped.
It's not even a jump scare. The monster, whenever he's near, the game does this weird static thing. But I'm assuming you're part machine as well. I'm just going to assume my character's part machine. This is a weird fucking game. I'm just going to be dead honest.
What the hell are you playing?
Soma.
Never heard of it.
It's by the same company who did Amnesia.
Okay.
There's been a bit of a build-up for it, because like I said, this is the company that kind of more or less brought back survival horror as a genre.
The way it's meant to be.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was like the first real horror game that we had seen in a long time. That's why people loved it so much.
Yeah, but the major companies go, that was a fluke.
Well, some AAA companies have tried it now. I know Sega did Alien Isolation. I'm very happy they put some trust in that, because that was a pretty tough game to sell.
After Colonial Marines was a piece of what the hell are you doing? And
I'm pretty sure they're happy that Alien Isolation made a shit ton of money. Bethesda tried it with the Evil Within. Didn't work though, but I'm still happy they tried it.
Well, the story's good.
Well, the problem is by Shinji Mikami, and I put a lot of hope in that game because that guy's one of my heroes. So definitely wasn't the swan song I hoped for him.
Well, I think it's.
I enjoyed it. I just think that clearly from a guy. This is clearly a guy who's proven he can do better.
Being fairly decent is okay.
It was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I didn't know who made it, so I didn't have really any expectations going in.
That probably would have made it better for you, knowing that it wasn't by a guy who I consider a fucking genius.
But if you told me the name, I still wouldn't have any idea because I don't know who you're talking about.
He did Resident Evil. He's the creator of that.
Ah.
He also did the fourth game. Well, it's funny because he did the original and the fourth game, so he did the best of the entire series.
Well, some people still want to smack him for the escorts things.
But hey, you could hide her in a dumpster. Alright? You were able to put her in a dumpster.
And people still get I just recently saw her on a list of 15 useless characters.
At least, okay, two things that made her bearable. You could hide her in a dumpster as you dealt with the grown-up stuff, and she got kidnapped for half the fucking game.
Well,
Even Napoleon Kid kidnaps her for half the game.
Okay, that's good, but the people brought it up says you'll have to keep going back to the dumpsters to get her out.
What?
No, you can just whistle for her to come out.
No, yeah, you can whistle for her.
And she pops her head out. And she pops.
Didn't know that.
And she pops her head out like Oscar the Grouch, which I thought was kind of funny. Not to mention a little bit cute.
To be fair, that game, and you know what? That game opened with a crazy Spanish man with a chainsaw and a sack on his head. That's a fucking awesome way to open a game.
I can't argue with that.
I love that. Like I said, it was a game that there's so many great ideas. At one moment, you're fighting an evil piranha fish in a lake. Then you're on a minecart in a fucking, what looks to be hell. You fight evil Napoleon Kid who turns into essentially Cthulhu. This game had everything, man.
And that's why it was the last good one before everything went to shit.
Well, he left after that.
That reminds me, I still haven't, I haven't gotten very far in Cthulhu Saves the World.
So you wrote a really good Cthulhu game. You ever played Dark Corners of the Earth?
Nope.
Never heard of it.
It's a little bit of an underrated game, I find. It's basically what it is. It's Lovecraft Story Shadow of Innsmouth. It's like a first-person shooter stealth game almost. Combination of the two. It's very well done. It's very faithful to his original work. Because basically you're going mad through the whole story. There's also a great moment when you're getting chased by a mob and you have to run past all of them as they chase you through the streets. And you get to grab the pistol and the shotgun and finally fight them off.
Well, your thing reminds me that there's a series of Sherlock Holmes games where one of them literally does involve Cthulhu.
I always want to see the Sherlock Holmes guys make a Cthulhu game. I think they might. I think they are making one, I read somewhere.
I think that already happened. They mentioned Sherlock Holmes, there is one involving Lovecraftian horror.
I know what Bloodborne, I've been playing that. they clearly love Lovecraft stuff. Like the second half of the game is just one big tribute to him. All the bosses are based off the Elder Ones. You go to Innsmouth. Well, it's basically Innsmouth. They don't call it Innsmouth, but it's basically Innsmouth.
One thing I'm confused on. Is it directly related to the Dark Souls games, or is that just... Or
it plays like a
just
Souls...
confusing?
It plays pretty much like a Souls game, but it's... because of
I meant
Souls
story-wise.
It's pretty much... Well, it's not connected at all. Because
Okay.
It's
because
weird,
some people kept lumping it together with the two Soul games, so I needed that clarification.
Well, Souls is like the first two Souls games, or well, the first three if you count Demons, are like really dark fantasy games, and Bloodborne is like first half's gothic horror stuff, like if you know like the old like Bram Stoker's Dracula, that kind of thing, and then it goes into Lovecraft territory, so it's basically just one big gothic horror tribute. Macabre storytellings of the 1800s.
Crazy theory said your blood potions that your health things are mental blood.
To be fair, there are a lot of enemies that do look like they came from the horrors of a woman's vagina. Yeah, they do. Hey, the game has blood in the title, and it damn well lives up to that.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just pointing out a crazy theory some people have.
My favorite part is they have the writings. They usually have like the weird like a little soul. Like I can't remember what they are, but I know in Dark Souls they're just these small little flames. But in Bloodborne they're like dancing skeletons in the bottom, and they're literally all dancing. It's a nice little touch I love. Yeah, by the way, it's pretty much a Souls game.
Well, I was more asking in story-wise that they see the people lumped it together, so I wasn't just double checking.
It's weird because because it plays pretty much exactly like a Souls game, but in terms of its tone and its setup, it's completely different.
A lot of games play similar to each other and have different stories, so that's something to remember.
Well, Bloodborne played a bit differently, if only because Dark Souls' combat was all about like timing and being very careful, where Bloodborne's really just about running in there and just being as brute as possible. In fact, if you counter them just at the right time, you get all your health back. The game literally wants you. In fact, there is no shields in the whole game, which was very weird to me considering that I played both Souls games and beat them both.
Just as hard as a Dark Souls game, or a bit easier?
It's about as difficult.
Okay.
It's easier to get into just because the combat's more straightforward. Because with Souls, the first two games
basically went, we're not gonna explain this to you. Figure out yourself.
Although that game does not hold your hand at all. There's never a moment in that game where it ever tells you what to do or how to do it. I've always told people, if you can't beat the gargoyle on the church rooftop, then don't bother playing the rest of the game, because it's not going to get any better. I'm a huge Souls fan, so I'm sorry, people.
No problem.
I'm so scared they're gonna annualize it because they're making a third one after Bloodborne. I'm so scared. I don't want them to. That'll just ruin the magic.
If people love the series and want more, eventually you have to cave into doing that.
You had three different campaigns for two. You had the Crown trilogy, Crown of Iron, Crown of Ivory. Yeah. In fact, they didn't actually plan to do any DLC for two. They thought it was going to be enough. Apparently not. Two's an odd one though, because the creator's not involved in it. I don't know what happened. He just did not really want to do it. So it's definitely like the weird guy in the room, because it feels very different.
Okay.
And on that note, that was Green Beret, aka Russian Attack.
Russian Attack.
Hold for edit.